Hi Stitchers, welcome back. I've got some daylight. I just put the boys down for a nap, so I'm gonna strike while the iron is hot and make a video. If you hear my toddler talking to himself, he's not asleep yet, but he is down for a nap. Favorite time of the day, right? I have a whole list of things. Hopefully it won't be too long of a video, but I wanted to update you on what I've been up to stitching wise. Let's see. It's been a good month. It's been a busy month. It's been a fun month. Today is a special day. Today is my youngest little boy's first birthday. He's 1 today. I can't believe he's 1. I've been thinking a lot today, looking back, to a year ago and where we were with this, barely 1-year-old and then 9 months pregnant and about to give birth, and just how scary the road ahead looked to me. And on this side of it, it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So many people like to offer opinions when you have 2 kids this close together. First of all, they always want to know if you planned it. And no offense, but unless you're my family or something, that's probably a weird question to ask. Was this baby on purpose? I don't really think that's any of your business. Regardless, lots of people like to offer opinions when you have 2 kids so close together, and they like to scare you. And it was not as bad as they said. It's been a great year. It's been a year of highs and lows, and but overall it's been wonderful. He's such a sweet little boy. He's happy and he's healthy, and we're just very, very blessed. So that's kind of a special day today. Also, mini life update. I have some exciting news that's not related to my stitching, but will affect my stitching time. And that is that for the first time in, I think, 5 or 6 years, I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna do a musical. I got cast in one of our local community theaters productions of The Music Man. I'm gonna be a pick-a-little lady, one of the school board wives who they sing the pick-a-little, talk-a-little song, and then they do the silly like Grecian urns dance. Anyway, you guys know I'm a dancer, so I'm excited about that. And it's gonna be so fun. I'm really excited. Tonight's our first rehearsal, and we're gonna do the sing-through of the show, and this is my first community theater in this town, and so it's gonna be fun to make some new friends, and I'm just excited to get to be back on stage. So that will affect my stitching time for the next 3 months. We'll rehearse all through April and May, and then the show runs through all of June. So that will affect the amount of time I have to stitch, but for a very wonderful reason, and I'm really excited. So there you go, quick life update for Nell. I'm gonna be busy, but it's gonna be great. I have some finishes from March, so let me get comfy here. Welcome to my living room again. This is where we have the best natural light, so here we go. First 2 finishes are my Brooks books for March, and the first one is Sheila Sheep. And I did not enjoy stitching her as much as I've enjoyed the rest. I don't know why. I think it might have been more where my brain was at that point in the month. Maybe it was all of the white. I'm not really sure what the reason was, but she's cute. I mean, she's really a sweet little sheep sitting there knitting a sock. Maybe made out of her own wool. But I don't know. She's cute. I like her. She's not my favorite, but she was fun. And she stitched up very quickly. So she's number 10. That's Sheila Sheep. And this one was a fun one, and I enjoyed this one. This is Fitzwilliam Frog, and he's number 11. And he is very dapper in his top hat. And his hands are up and his eyes are closed, so I imagine he's singing. I don't know why, but I just imagine he's like a Christmas carol. I also love his mustache. Makes him look like a villain in an old-timey movie. Speaking of Fitzwilliam, tangent. If any of you are fans of Pride and Prejudice, book, original BBC movie, newer movie, whatever version you prefer of the movie, if you like Pride and Prejudice, and you have Netflix, there's something on Netflix that you should watch. Now, it may be that I'm just late to the game and y'all already know about this, but my mom told me about a show on Netflix. It's called Death Comes to Pemberley, and it's a 3-part miniseries that BBC did a couple years ago, and it takes place 5 or 6 years after the happenings in the book. And it's a murder mystery. And it's good. I was really nervous because it'd be really easy, I think, to kind of cheese it up and make it really, I don't know. I always get nervous when they mess with our classics, right? And so I wasn't sure what to think, but it was really well done. I enjoyed it. I thought it was well cast. The show was fun and exciting and a little bit scary, and it was great. I loved it. So go watch Death Comes to Pemberley. His name reminded me of that because his name is Fitzwilliam, like Mr. Darcy. But anyway, Fitzwilliam Frog. Sorry for the tangent. Get to the Netflix and watch that show. It's great. So he's number 11. So those were my first 2 finishes for the month. My third finish for the month was very exciting, and as I suspected, I was not able to get them fully finished, but I did finish them in time for Easter, and those are my vintage eggs. Ta-da! Let me see if I can... Oh, the sunlight is kind of washing them out a little bit. Sorry. But I will, you've seen the first 6 already, so I'll just fold my fabric so you can see the number 7 and number 8 that I finished. This is number 7. Little chicken and her chicks, and it says Peep. And number 8 is this little Easter bunny. Okay, this side works better for lighting. Here we go. That's number 8. So, they're all done. I finished vintage eggs. These were a joy to stitch, as most Prairie Schooler patterns are. On this one, and I believe this is true of most, if not all, Prairie Schooler patterns, there are no fractional stitches, so it lends itself really well to Ada because since they're small pieces, you finish them individually. I guess you could, or you could stitch them all together. And they were great. They were really fun. These were so vibrant and colorful. I did change the colors of the eggs just to get more color in. I wanted a purple egg, and there wasn't a purple egg charted, so I moved colors around and got myself a purple egg. But yeah, so that was great. I was excited to get that done in time for Easter. My plan is, since I didn't get them fully finished, if you recall, I have the second chart in kind of the set that Prairie Schooler did of these Easter egg patterns on Black Ada, and that one is called, this one is called Vintage Eggs, and the other one is called Folk Eggs, and they're more of the same style. They use the same colors, they're the same stitch count. And so my idea is that I'm going to put this away until next year. And next year I want to stitch Folk Eggs, and then when I get Folk Eggs done, I'm going to finish them all together. And I already have some backing fabric picked out. I have some ribbon to make them little ornaments to hang them with, and that'll be really fun. So this one's getting put away for a year, but it is done, and I'm really pleased with it. I think it turned out really pretty. So springy and Eastery. Speaking of springy and Eastery, my next finish is going to lead us into some new starts because it was also a new start. In my last video, I mentioned seeing this pattern on Jennifer Hasler's YouTube channel and fell in love with it immediately. And it wasn't more than 2 or 3 days after the last video got posted that I went on Etsy and bought the chart and stitched it up and finished it in like a week and a half because I loved it that much. And this is Sweet Spring by Satsuma Street. So you can see, I'll move it up so you can see there's butterfly and the bunny and the flowers, and then at the bottom there's little carrots and radishes. And this is actually stitched on, prepare yourself to be shocked, this is stitched on a hand-dyed fabric. Nell stitched on hand-dyed? Yes, I did. I have had this piece of hand-dyed linen in my stash for probably 8 years. Because I don't love hand-dyed linen. Or hand-dyed fabrics. And so I bought it thinking I was going to use it for a different chart that I have since picked a fabric I like better and have waiting. So I had this fabric sitting in my stash for years, like 8 years. This is, I believe I bought it, I think this is Silk Weavers, and it's a 32 count Belfast linen, and I believe the color is called Mississippi Blue, and I don't even know if Silk Weavers dyes that color fabric anymore, because that's how old this piece is. You can see the crease lines from it just being stored in my stash for 8 years. So I'm gonna have to probably wash this. Well, actually I probably shouldn't wash it. I believe Silk Weavers says on their packaging that their fabric is color fast, but I just don't know that I trust it enough. It's all stitched in DMC, which will be fine, but I would hate for the blue to bleed onto the bunny rabbit. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to steam iron the crud out of this thing. Either that or just pin it and lace it myself really tightly to try and get those wrinkles out. But it's done, and I think it's beautiful, and I don't even mind the hand-dyed fabric all that much on this piece. I think the colors are vibrant enough that they pop out and it doesn't bother me. I did have to work, you see I have it on a really weird part of the fabric, because do you see that white splotch? I hate that. I hate that white splotch. So I did the piece way over here on this side of the fabric, so I have all of this, and once I, trim it down, there'll probably be, 4 or 5 inches of fabric left that I guess I'll throw in my stash in case I ever want to do like a really tiny thing, but I just don't see myself ever using this again. But anyway, love it. Sweet Spring by Satsuma Street, and that is my 4th finish for March. So I had a lot of finishes in March. That was really, really, really fun. Let's get into new starts. You saw my first new start, which was Sweet Spring, and I also finished it. And then I have 2 more new starts. I did not work on any of my whips this month after finishing all those pieces. I didn't pull out Harry Potter. I didn't pull out my Hardanger piece that's still like 80% done. I just need to finish that little piece of Hardanger. And then I didn't work at all on Save the Stitches. That stayed put away because I wanted some new starts. And I finished my Vintage Eggs Prairie Schooler ornaments, so I decided to start another set of my Prairie Schooler ornaments that I bought. And the next holiday that's coming up that I bought a chart for is Independence Day. So I started Stars and Stripes. And I am stitching this on, is it the recommended fabric? Kind of. The recommended fabric is 32 count lamb's wool linen from Wishelt, and I'm stitching it on 16 count lamb's wool Aida. So the color's the same and the count is technically the same if you're going to stitch over 2 on the linen, but I'm using Aida since it's a small little ornament. And I finished this week, I finished the first one. I finished Mr. Washington. So there's George Washington, and it's fun. I love the colors. There are only like 5 colors in this series. So there's not a lot of color changes. Like I said, no fractional stitches. The charts are easy to follow. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Prairie Schooler, but you guys already know that. We all know that it's a tragedy that they've decided to close shop. But yeah, so Mr. Washington's done. Next one that I will do will be Abraham Lincoln. It's right there. So I'll do him next. Actually, no. Sorry. The next one I'm going to do is actually going to be this flag. This top. Sorry, I'm trying not to point with my middle finger. This one. That I'm pointing at. That American flag there at the top that says Old Glory. That's going to be the next one I do. And then I'll go and do Mr. Lincoln. But yeah, enjoying that. It's looking great. Love the colors. It's very Americana, which we all know I love. So that's been fun. And then my last new start, which is going to connect us to my haul, because this is something I bought. I have never, I'm going to preface this. I have never been particularly crazy or enthusiastic about prim style cross stitches, by which I mean primitive style, the ones that are meant to look antique, or the reproduction samplers. I like some prim things. I loved the 12 Days of Christmas that Plum Street Samplers put out as a freebie last year. I still haven't stitched it, but I downloaded them all and printed them all off. I have them waiting to do. But a lot of times the Prim stuff is lots of small motifs, which is not always my favorite. I like bigger things. Some small motifs is fine, but I like things to be a little more substantial because otherwise you're just constantly starting and ending threads because I don't want to carry over big blank empty spaces of fabric, you know what I mean? So that's one reason why I think Prim stuff didn't always appeal to me. And the other reason is that in an effort to make it look antique and old, the colors are very often very muted. And I'm not a big fan of muted colors. I mean, obviously, okay, well, let's just all admit that Satsuma Street, that woman is a genius with color, first of all. But even my Prairie Schooler stuff, I mean, this is supposed to look maybe kind of vintage, but it's still bright, bold, happy colors. And a lot of Prim stuff is charted to be kind of sedate. And it's beautiful, but I always worry I'd get bored or not like the colors very much. Well, never say never. I have started my first Prim style cross stitch, and this is a piece called Long May She Wave by Barbara Anna Designs, and I don't have a good picture of it to show you, so I'm going to insert a picture here. And isn't it cute? And I like it. I like it, I think, because it's a little more colorful with that kind of light blue banner at the top. It's a little more vibrant. The colors are a little more bold. And the other reason I love it, well, first of all, obviously, it's America. It's Americana. I mean, shocking, Nell, really? You're going so much outside your comfort zone. Wink, wink. But I love it because you have Uncle Sam on the crow, and it says 1776, and the bunting at the bottom, and it's all very beautiful. But then over on the right-hand side is Betsy Ross, and she has her needle and her thread, and she's just finished sewing the first American flag. And what a nice tribute to stitchers, right? Betsy Ross, who, you know, is famous in American history. Every American school child knows about Betsy Ross, but I loved that Barbara Anna Designs included her in this piece because it's about the flag. Long may she wave, right? Referring to the American flag. And so we've got Betsy Ross. The little, they call it a cartouche, the little thing that's over by Betsy Ross that says 1776 on it. Or I think it says 1776. I can't remember now. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it says like the year you stitched it. Anyway, that is petite point. You stitch it 1/1, just that one little piece. The rest of it is stitched 2/2. It's all charted for DMC. Another big plus, in my opinion. And this is where I am. I have started Uncle Sam and the crow, or the raven. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Some kind of black bird. And those birds are in like every Prim piece I've ever seen, so it must be a thing. I don't know. But, so yeah, it's looking really nice and I'm enjoying it. I am stitching this. This piece of fabric is from my eBay haul, obviously. And this is Quaker cloth. I decided to give this Quaker cloth a try. And if you recall, I told you last video that Quaker cloth is a blend of linen and cotton. So it has the slubby texture that linen does, but the threads are a little bit thicker and feel a little bit fluffier and stronger, and it has some of the qualities of like a Lugana or a Joblin with that slubbiness of the linen. I really like this fabric. I'm sad I only got like 4 or 5 pieces of it. I kind of wish I had more. It's Quaker cloth. It's 28 count. Cream, the color is cream, Quaker cloth made by Zweigart. And one thing about this is I went back and forth many times about how many strands to stitch this in because it's 28 count. And I don't often stitch on 28 count / 14 count, and it's pretty big. It feels kind of huge to me because I've been stitching on 18 count and 30 and 16 / 32 count a lot in the last few months. And so feels really big. And I was kind of debating because the coverage with 2 strands over this 28 count is not super opaque, if that's the right word to use. I'm going to hold this up. If you can see a lot of the fabric, especially with this black crow. You can see a lot of the fabric through there. And I thought about, oh, maybe I'll try using the anchor black, or maybe I'll use 3 strands. I went back and forth. I pulled some stitching out and tried it with 3 strands. Then I pulled that back out and did it again with 2 strands. And I've decided that I kind of like the fact that I can see the fabric through there. And I think the reason why is that this is a prim piece. And for some reason in my head, the fact that it's kind of a primitive style, it lends itself to maybe less opaque colors that you can kind of see through the stitching. I kind of like that if you look closely at this piece, you can see every little X, and you can see that there's fabric behind it. And I don't know, I know that probably drives some of you crazy because I know coverage is a big deal for a lot of people, and for me it is too, for, you know, to a certain extent. That's why I kept going back and forth, but I kind of love how it looks. I love that it's a little more sparse looking. It just kind of feels more antique-y to me. So anyway, that is Long May She Wave by Barbara Anna Designs. And this pattern, you can buy it on 123 Stitch. I actually found a website based in France. It's called Creative Poppy. And they are a cross-stitch website that you can purchase patterns for PDF download. And it's all on the up and up. It's all, I promise, it's all, they're very, you know, strict about copyright, and they make sure you're aware of what all the copyright rules are, and the PDF is locked, and they have to send you a password, and it's very, it's all on the up and up. So I paid for it, and then I downloaded it, and it was actually less expensive for me to do that than to order it from 123 Stitch. So working off of a PDF copy that I printed out, because I don't like working off of digital patterns. But anyway, so that's Long May She Wave. And my first foray into primitive style stitching. We'll see. I think I'm going to really enjoy this one, and I'm looking forward to kind of investigating more into the prim stuff. So next is going to be a haul, and this haul is from 123 Stitch. And I do not have it with me at this very moment. So I'm actually going to insert a separate video here in a second and show you my haul. And then we'll come back to this video and I'll show you the last exciting little bit of news that I have. So I will insert the video now, and I will see you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so I went and grabbed my haul from 123 Stitch, and I wanted to show it to you really quick. The first thing to say is that I made this purchase because my mother sent me a package in the mail, and the post office lost half of the contents. When I received it, the box had very obviously been ripped into, and things had been moved around and rearranged, and small things that were originally my mom had packaged inside of another big object had been moved into a different big object. So, you know, the post office lost the stuff, but it looked very much like it had been broken into and some things had been stolen. So luckily we had some receipts to show proof of value, and she sent it priority mail, which comes with an automatic $50 insurance. And so the post office sent me a check for $50 for the things that were lost. And so I made a purchase because, you know, what do you do when you get an unexpected $50 windfall? You buy more cross-stitching stuff. Stitchers are funny. So the first thing is very boring, and that is some new replacement clamps for my 8x8 Q-snap frame. And I use this frame for like 95% of my projects, this 8x8 size. I also have an 11x11, and I don't love it. It's too heavy for me to hold in my hand when I stitch, because I just hold my frames. I don't use a stand. And so those clamps for that 11x11 have been moved onto the lap frame that I made out of PVC. And then I use my 8x8 for like 90% of everything else. And I've had that 8x8 frame for probably almost 10 years now, like from the very first moment that Q snaps kind of became a thing. And one of them got a big crack down the center here, and it's still holding for now, but the tension is going and it's not going to hold much longer. So I got some replacement clamps for that, and that was very boring. The next 4 things are some Prairie Schooler things that I wanted. These are some of the little minis, and they're the Halloween ones. Now I believe there are 5, but these are the 4 that are my favorites. So these are the 4 that I bought, and I have always imagined myself stitching these up to be in like a window pane style wall hanging with 1, 2, 3, 4 quilted together in a wall hanging. And so these are by the Prairie Schooler, and they're Halloween ones. This one is Night Flight. They're all the same size. They're all the same stitch count. This is Who's There. This one is Knock Knock. And this one is Double Double. So you can see they kind of all go together. They're all stitched with the same colors. They're the same stitch count, like I said. So I've always imagined myself stitching these, you know, in a little window pane style wall hanging. And so I bought those, and they were really inexpensive. I think they were about $3.50 each. They're not very expensive. So if you like those, check them out. I know Stephanie Watson here on FlossTube just finished Night Flight. She stitched Night Flight by itself, and she just finished that. So anyway, I've been wanting those for a while, and now I have them. So that's what I got there from Prairie Schooler. The next is a new Plum Street Samplers pattern, and this is my favorite one from the new ones that just got released. This is Liberty's Welcome, and I mentioned before this video how I'm kind of starting to get intrigued by prim stitching, especially when the colors are vibrant, and this one definitely fits the bill. Sorry, it's not wanting to focus. It also is Americana themed, which is a major seller for me. And the motifs, while there are lots of little separate motifs, they're so close together that it doesn't stress me out as much, and I just think this is beautiful. I love this. This was more expensive than most patterns I buy. I don't usually spend more than like $10 on a pattern, and this one I think was a fair amount more than that, but I liked it enough that I wanted it. And like I said, I'm starting to be intrigued by prim stuff, so I bought Liberty's Welcome. It is charted for NPI silks, but it provides a DMC conversion, and hello, I am me, and I will be converting to DMC because yeah, it's just my budget and my life right now. Maybe someday I'll be able to afford stitching things in silks, but not at this time. So that's Liberty's Welcome. The last thing, you guys, I have been wanting a Nutcracker pattern for a long time, something with nutcrackers on it for Christmas. And I've seen quite a few people have stitched or are planning to stitch or are currently working on the Nutty Parade. I think by like Turquoise Graphics something or other. I can't remember. I'll insert a picture here. This is the one that I've seen a lot of people working on, and I like it, but it wasn't my favorite. And I decided to go look around on 123 Stitch, and I found my Nutcracker pattern. This is a terrible picture. This picture is awful, but this is by the Ship's Manor, excuse me, and this is the Holly and the Ivy. I love this. These are beautiful. I don't even know. I'm kind of speechless. I'm kind of without words because it's everything I wanted. It's Christmassy and it's nutcrackers, but they're not like cartoony, if you know what I mean. They're very elegant and beautifully designed. The colors are great. These are charted with DMC as well as some Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks. They do provide DMC conversions. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use the DMC conversions or not. I'm probably going to stitch with them for a little bit and see if I like it. If I don't, then I might go ahead and use the overdyed threads. But I love this. Oh my word. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of obsessed. I think this is so elegant and beautiful and classic. So that's something I want to stitch for Christmas. So like I said, that's by Ship's Manor, and it is the Holly and the Ivy. So that was the last pattern I bought. And then this pattern does require a few little specialty bits. So I bought those. And it's just a blending filament. It's called Pearl. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. That is a Pearl blending filament. Where's the number? Oh, it's on this side. Hello. Sorry, guys. That is number 032 blending filament. And on 123 Stitch, they just call it Pearl, and that's what they call it in the pattern. And I believe that is for, on these guys, where there's like white, I don't know. I'm not really sure where the blending filament goes, but it's sparkly, and why would I not want to make things more sparkly? And then the other thing is some beads. You need some red beads. So this is Mill Hill beads, focus, there we go, 02013. Glass seed beads in a red color. And I'm assuming those are for all the holly and ivy berries. Holly, I don't know if there are such a thing as ivy berries, but the holly berries. So anyway, that is the holly and the ivy, and the stuff to do it. Plum Street samplers, Prairie Schooler, and some Q-snap clamps. So there you go. That's my haul. Okay, so great haul, really fun stuff. I'm excited to have it. I'm, you know, if the post office has to lose your package, you know, at least I got something good out of it, right? Any excuse to buy stitchy stuff, right? Okay, so we've talked about my finishes, my new starts, my haul. Next is a bit of exciting news, and that is that as of this afternoon sometime, I can't remember when exactly it happened, but I hit 1,000 subscribers. You guys, don't you have anything better to do than listen to me ramble on? I'm just kidding. I love FlossTube. I watch FlossTube all day long. I'm amazed, and I'm really touched and pleased and excited, and thank you for subscribing and being interested enough in my stitching to want to watch me every month. I hope that you're enjoying my videos. I'm enjoying making them, so I'm not going to stop anytime soon. But in honor of my reaching that milestone of 1,000 subscribers, can you guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to host my first giveaway. Yay! First giveaway from Little Yellow House Crafts. This giveaway is not just because I hit 1,000 subscribers, but the time period when I hit 1,000 subscribers just happened to coincide with spring cleaning in my house. And I cleaned out my craft room and found some things that I stitched already that I don't consider, you know, I'm not a repeat stitcher really. Once I've stitched something, I'm done with it. And in the past, I've given charts away to friends, or I've never sold a chart on eBay. Maybe, that might be a good way to get more money for new things. But I decided, since I hit 1,000 subscribers and you guys are awesome, I'm going to give away some of the stuff that I have finished in the last couple of years that I just have been holding on to the charts for. And I also went through my stash and decided on a kit that I've had for many, many years now that I'm just never going to stitch it. I think my tastes have changed since I first bought this kit. It's a big kit. It's a Dimensions Gold kit, and it would be very time intensive. And right now I'm really enjoying working on some smaller projects. In the past, I've been very much a big project kind of girl, and it's been really fun for me to do smaller pieces and to get to do more because of that. So I found a kit that I want to pass along to one of you lucky subscribers of mine. And that is a Dimensions Gold collection called Woodland Enchantress. This is what she looks like. Sorry for the glare. There you go. And I know she's popular. Lots of people have stitched her. She's beautiful. She's really, really beautiful. I'm just not... she reminds me of kind of all of the Joan Elliott Elegant Ladies. She's very much that kind of style of a Joan Elliott, and she's gorgeous. I'm just not really much of a fairy fantasy kind of stitcher anymore. I think I may have been when I bought this, but she's gorgeous. The kit has been opened. I opened it to, you know, look through it when I first bought her, but everything's still in there. She comes with all of the threads, including some metallic, some gold metallic, which, let's call a spade a spade. The Dimensions gold metallic is awful to work with, so I'd really recommend getting some Krennic or Petite Treasure braid or something to replace that with, or you can be brave and use the gold metallic it comes with. Comes with some beads. Ooh, there you go. She does have some beads. They're kind of spilling out of her hand here as she's spreading her springtime magic, turning the world from winter to spring, I think is kind of the idea. And she's lovely. So I'm going to give that away and have her go to a home where she'll be loved and appreciated and stitched, rather than just have her sit in my stash for who knows how many more years. So that's the first thing. The second thing is also a kit, and as I was going through my stash, I realized that I had a duplicate. I've already stitched this. This is one of these Mill Hill Santas. You guys know I showed those a couple videos back. I've done a lot of these Mill Hill Santas and I collect them. Haven't worked on one in a while. I need to pull it back out, but I've already stitched this one. I was looking through and I saw this and I was like, I'm positive I've stitched that already. I went and found it, and I have indeed. But I had another one of these kits. So this is Rocky Mountain Santa, and this is the Teton Santa. And he has a little mountain goat with him, and having stitched him personally, he's great. I love these Mill Hill kits. I love these Mill Hill Santas in particular. And obviously it comes with a perforated paper, which you could always replace with fabric. If you don't want to stitch him on the paper, you could stitch him on a piece of fabric. All the threads, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that Mill Hill uses DMC threads. So I believe these are DMC threads. And then all of the different Mill Hill beads that you need for this piece, as well as a regular cross-stitching needle and a beading needle is in there, and then all of the instructions. So everything you need to make this cute little guy is in here, and I have a lot of experience with these Mill Hill kits, and they're fun. They're fun, they're easy, they're quick to stitch up. They're not hard. Even his beard, which looks very complicated with all these little loopies, they give you step-by-step instructions, and it's a breeze. So I'm going to throw that in there. Then we come to some, well, let's save the patterns for last. I'm going to throw in some fabric, because I got this amazing haul last time, and let's share the love, right? I have so much fabric now, and I'm never going to need to use it all. So I'm going to include a couple pieces. The first one is just a white Lugana 25 count. I know a lot of people like to stitch Heaven and Earth designs on white 25 count Lugana. This is a smaller piece. I think it's big enough to do like a story keep, one of their bookmarks, or, you know, maybe one of their Faces of Fairy, the little small ones by Josephine Wall, the oval ones that a lot of people do. It's big enough for that, or you could just use it for whatever. So that's 25 count white Lugana, and then I'm going to throw in a piece of my personal favorite fabric, which is 32 count Belfast linen, and this is the color Summer Khaki, and it's a very nice neutral tan color. It's a cool one. It's not too warm, so it would work with just about everything. And there's a couple patterns that I'm including here that this would look really nice as the fabric for. So a couple pieces of fabric and then some patterns. We'll go from oldest to newest. The first one is, and I've had this project finished for years, and I've just had these sitting in my stash. This is the Lizzie Kate Boo Club Flip It series. And this is what I used to make my, if you recall, my Halloween wall hanging. And they're adorable. So let me show you. I'm going to pass these along to someone else who could stitch them up. You can do them separately, or I included off of the Lizzie Kate website, I printed off the instructions on how to do it all in one banner because that's how I wanted to do it. And they include like a little tiny pattern here at the bottom that goes on the bottom of the banner, and what order you stitch the pieces in. So that's included, that I just printed off my computer years ago. But these are the Boo Club Flip It series. So we have Spooky and Treats. I'll do it this way so you can see them. Spooky Treats, Black Cat and Spiders, Eek and Creepy, Pumpkin and Fright, and, oh, two more. Brew and Monster, and Ghost and Halloween. And here's a picture of what it looks like if you do it all in the banner. And that's how I did mine. They framed it. I turned mine into a wall hanging, but it's adorable altogether. The one thing that this does not have is these originally came with some little tiny little white buttons, white and black buttons. You can see on Spooky, they're right here. And then Treats has black buttons right here and here. Obviously I used those. So they came with the buttons and they don't have them anymore. But it would be really easy, I think, to either just replace that with stitching, to stitch the little white circles and the little black circles where the buttons went, or to just buy some more buttons. I'm sure there's a way you could find those white and black buttons. So that's the first one, is Spooky Treats. Well, you know, Spooky Treats is the first one, but the Lizzie Kate Boo Club series of Halloween patterns. We're not done yet. We're not even close to done. Seriously, guys, I'm getting rid of all my stuff that I've already stitched. Next one is from Country Cottage Needleworks. I stitched this last year. It's Red, White, and Bloom. And that's beautiful. I love that. It's so pretty. It's really pretty stitched up, guys. Go back and watch my video from last year when I stitched it, because it's lovely. So Country Cottage Needleworks, Red, White, and Bloom. This one is also one I did last year. It's called Autumn Blessings, and this I stitched for for Thanksgiving here in the States, but it would work for any autumn. It doesn't say anything about Thanksgiving. It just says count your blessings and give thanks, which is the theme of all harvest celebrations. So you don't even have to be American for this to make sense. Or Canadian. Canadians have Thanksgiving too, just at a different time of year. So that is Autumn Blessings. And this is the one, if you recall too, that the picture is crap. The picture makes it look so pale and washed out. The colors are gorgeous and vibrant and lovely, so never fear. And then the last one is the one I just finished. And that's my Prairie Schooler Vintage Eggs. And I'm going to pass this along. Now that I have finished them, someone else can stitch these up for Easter time or springtime or whatever. Maybe you live on a farm. It would also, a lot of them would really be appropriate for a farm too. Maybe not counting the Easter bunnies, everything else would work. Sorry about that. Had to answer the door. So yeah, that's the last one. The last pattern I'm going to include. And this giveaway is open internationally. I will ship this wherever you want. This is a big giveaway for me, guys. This is clearing me out of all these old patterns I've had sitting around that I've stitched already. So I probably won't have another giveaway, maybe till I hit another big subscriber milestone, or I don't know, something special. But this is a big giveaway, so I want it to be open to everybody because I'm not going to do another one for a while. So international, I don't care where you live. You have to obviously be willing to send me your address so I can get it to you. And along those lines, as always, everyone has to say this, but please be 18 years old or at least have your parents' permission to give me your address so that I can send you this. This giveaway will run until probably the end of April. I want to give people a chance to see it because I know some people get behind on FlossTube and I don't want people to miss out. So I'll have this open for about 3 more weeks. It will close on the last day of April, which I believe is a Saturday the 30th of April, and it will close, let's say, 9 p.m. my time. Because I know I'll be awake then. I go to bed kind of early. So I live in central United States, so my time is Central Daylight Time. So this will close on Saturday, April 30th at 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And I will, after it closes, I will write a comment in the comment section where you can enter the giveaway that will say this giveaway is closed. And I'll try to change the name of the video as well, edit it to show that it's closed. But this is going to be an FSG, guys, a floss tube subscriber giveaway as suggested by Trisha the Left-Handed Stitcher. So I'm not going to put giveaway in the title or in the description box. I'll just reference it as FSG. And please, we're not entirely sure whether or not it looks in comments either. So if you can refer to it as an FSG and not a giveaway, I'm not gonna like disqualify you if you write giveaway, but try to keep it on the down low so that it sticks. The giveaway is just between us floss tubers, because I want it to go to someone who's gonna love these and stitch them and enjoy them. So closes April 30th at 9 p.m. my time. Open internationally. Please be 18 or have your parents' permission. And good luck. I will get everyone's names down and use the random number generator to pick someone randomly to get this little giveaway of 2 kits and 2 pieces of fabric and a whole load of charts. So good luck to you. And yeah, in order to enter, just please be a subscriber, I guess. It is my giveaway, so, you know, hopefully you like watching my videos. So be a subscriber and just comment down below. And maybe in the comment, tell me, I want to know something. What do I want you to put down there? Tell me who your current, if you had to pick one, who your current favorite cross-stitch designer is and why. Why are they your favorite? Is Joan Elliott your favorite? Tell me why. Is Lizzie Kate your favorite? Country Cottage Needleworks? Plum Street Samplers? Tell me why. Tell me who your favorite designer is and why. And yeah, I'm so excited to have hit 1,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. You know I love ya. Good luck. I hope you like the giveaway and have fun with that. So that's all I have for you this month, guys. Take care, and I will catch you next month. Okay? Bye!